Okay, decide whether the relation defines y as a function of x, and then give the domain and range. Okay, so here is our inequality. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a table of values that represent x and that represent y, and then whatever values we pick for x and y, we want to plug it into the inequality to make sure that this statement is true. So we need to pick values for x and then add a value for y that it's going to be less than 1. So let's pick a value for x. So if we pick a value for x and let's say 0, and then we're going to let y be, let's say 1, okay? 0 plus 1, is that less than 1? Well, the answer is no. So therefore, we need to pick another value for y. So this is not, this is false, right? Okay, now let's pick another number for x. If we pick 0 and then pick this as -1, well, 0 minus 1, is that less than 1? Well, -1 is less than 1, so we know it's true. Okay, now let's say if I decided to pick 0 and then -2. Okay, 0 minus 2 is going to be less than 1, so therefore it's true. Okay, if I pick again 0 for x and then -3, what do you notice here? 0 minus 3 is still going to be less than 1, which is true. So you can see here that we have the same value of x that corresponds to more than one y value. So this represents the domain of the function, and this represents the range of the function. So if you notice, let's say we picked 1, right? And then let's say this is -1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. Is that less than 1? Well, the answer is true. We can go on and on. What if I pick 1 and then -2 for y? So 1 minus 2 is -1, and that is less than 1, which is also true. So you can see that there's many ways in this particular inequality that's going to make this not a function. So therefore, we're going to say that no, this is not a function. So let's check our result, and there's our answer. Now we need to determine what is the domain of this function. Okay, so the domain of this function means that we can pick what are the x values that we can pick. Okay, well, so far we picked 0 and we picked 1. Well, let's see if we can pick a value that's negative. If we pick the value of -1, can we pick a value of y that's going to give us something that's less than 1? Well, we can pick 0. So we have -1, okay, plus 0, which is going to be less than 1, which makes that true. What that means is that for the domain of the function, we can pick all real numbers. So therefore, we can say that this is parentheses, -infinity, comma, infinity with parentheses, and then check our answer. Now let's determine what would be the range of this function. Well, just like the domain, okay, we can pick any value that's either 0, negatives, or positive for y. So the range is also going to be -infinity to +infinity. So let's go ahead and then put in our result. We have parenthesis -infinity, comma, +infinity with a parenthesis. Check our answer, and then there is our result.